You are behaving like a big baby. Come on, you just got a raise. Go and buy your own place lah. Don't be a crybaby lah when it comes to getting a home loan. Nah.
Baby, stop drooling. Everyone watching you. Stop it. Calm down. Dear, so happy. We found out we're not overpaying for a dream home. Ayo, baby, I love you so much. Goo goo goo.
Oh, bro, you are babbling. I can't understand. I mean, don't stress. These are happy moments. It means you are growing up.
I know, raising a kid can be scary.
You just need to find a place near to good school, clinic, MRT, shopping mall, and your in-laws. That's all.
Hey, wait. You all are frightening him. He's about to...
Thank you for tuning in to iProperty Development Excellence Awards 2021.
I would like to thank iProperty. We are happy that iProperty recognized us.
感谢 iProperty 及各位评委。
We are very happy to receive this award from iProperty.
We are humbled to receive this prestigious award from iProperty.com.my.
Thank you, iProperty, for this very meaningful recognition.
Hai, saya Syarul Azizi Azmi atau lebih dikenali sebagai Syarul Shiro. Memandangkan saya telah bercadang untuk membuka perniagaan di Nuvo Centro, jadi sudah tentulah saya perlukan kediaman yang berdekatan dengan lokasi perniagaan saya untuk keselesaan keluarga kami. UDA Property Johor menawarkan Pisoniaville, sebuah kediaman superlink teras 2 tingkat yang menarik untuk saya diami bersama seisi keluarga. Pastinya saya sangat teruja kerana kawasan perumahan ini berukuran 25x75 luasnya dan sangat strategik terletak di Bandar UDA Utama, Johor Bahru. Pisoniaville juga menyediakan dapur basah dan dapur kering di bahagian belakang bagi memudahkan isteri saya menunjukkan bakat masakan beliau. Terdapat 2 jenis rumah di Pisoniaville yang saya boleh pilih sama ada 5 bilik tidur ataupun 6 bilik tidur. Pelbagai kemudahan yang tersedia di Pisoniaville seperti pusat membeli belah, taman rekreasi, institusi perbankan dan institusi pendidikan. Hanya dalam 10 km radius saja. Pastinya urusan saya dan keluarga menjadi mudah serta dapat menjimatkan masa. Pisoniaville juga mudah diakses melalui link kedua ke Singapura, Kota Iskandar, Lebuh Raya Utara Selatan dan jalan utama ke Johor Bahru. Dengan tawaran deposit serendah RM1,000 saja, saya berjaya memiliki rumah idaman saya di Pisoniaville ini. Selain itu, bonus pula untuk saya sekeluarga kerana untuk pemilihan pada bulan Mac dan April ini saja, UDA Property Johor menawarkan pakej percutian hebat di Angkasa Hotels and Resorts bernilai RM4,000. Tunggu apa lagi? Jom hubungi 011-1722-6120 atau layari di laman udaproperty.com.my untuk mendapatkan maklumat lanjut. Hai, saya Syarul Azizi Azmi atau lebih dikenali sebagai Shadow Shiro. Memandangkan perniagaan saya telah berkembang maju, tidak salah untuk saya meluaskan perniagaan di Johor Bahru pula. Jadi, saya bercadang untuk membeli sebuah kedai pejabat yang dibangunkan oleh UDA Property Johor. UDA Property Johor menawarkan kepada saya kedai pejabat 3 tingkat berkeluasan 29x65 di Bandar UDA Utama, Johor Bahru yang dikenali sebagai Nuvo Centro. Nuvo Centro ini terletak di kawasan yang sangat strategik, lengkap dengan reka bentuk yang moden. Kawasan kedai pejabat ini tersedia dengan kelengkapan tempat letak kereta yang lapang di samping tingkap yang besar bagi tujuan pencahayaan dan pengudaraan semula jadi. Reka bentuknya yang luas sangat membantu untuk saya menampung pekerja yang ramai dan bekerja dengan suasana yang tenang. Bukan itu saja, Nuvo Centro juga sangat dekat dengan kemudahan-kemudahan yang ada seperti pusat membeli belah, taman rekreasi, institusi perbankan dan institusi pendidikan. Selain itu, ia juga mudah untuk diakses melalui link kedua ke Singapura, Kota Iskandar, Lebuh Raya Utara Selatan dan jalan utama ke Johor Bahru. Jangan lepaskan peluang ini kerana jika anda belum bersedia untuk membeli, UDA Property Johor juga boleh menerima tawaran skim sewa beli serendah RM1,800 sebulan. Yang lebih menarik, anda boleh mendapatkan insentif terhad Mac dan April ini saja selain voucher pencucian hebat di Angkasa Hotels and Resorts bernilai RM4,000. Jom daftar sekarang, hubungi 011-1722-6120 atau layari di laman udaproperty.com.my.
Hello everyone and welcome to iProperty Data Talks, your burning questions answered. This Facebook Live will air on iProperty's Facebook page. iProperty, the #1 property site in Malaysia, believes in assisting buyers in every step of their property journey. In this show, we'll share property pricing trends of different locations in Malaysia with you and ask property developers some burning questions that you might have. So make sure to like and follow iProperty's Facebook page and select to receive notification from us so you won't miss any episode when we go live. Before that though, we have some awesome prizes for those of you who tuned in live now. How do you win the prizes? Our first question, which locations' property pricing trends will be discussed today? Is it 1, Kulai, 2, Johor Bahru, 3, Kluang, or 4, Batu Pahat? I'm sure you know the Johor state very well. Let's see who's there the quickest. Our second question, which of the following township will be discussed today? Is it 1, Bandar UDA Utama, 2, Bandar Baru UDA, or 3, Taman Nusa Bestari, 4, Taman Sutra Utama. So which could it be? And our third question, who is our host for iProperty Data Talk FB Live Series? Is it 1, Karen Tan? Is it 2, Hannah Lim? Is it 3, Frida Liu? Or is it 4, Sarah Tan? You should know by now who it would be. And for those of you who just tuned in, welcome to iProperty Data Talks, your burning questions answered. This is a Facebook Live series that will air on iProperty's Facebook page. So remember to like and follow iProperty's Facebook page and select to receive notifications from us so you won't miss any episode when we go live. If you're at the start of your property hunting where you have no clue on where to buy, or perhaps you already know where to buy but not sure if you're paying too much, then this show is for you. In tonight's episode, we collaborate with UDA Land South Sendirian Berhad, one of UDA Holdings Berhad subsidiary under UDA Property Divisions. UDA Property Divisions, we have made known they are being divided into 4 business units. They're one UDA Property South, Johor, UDA Property Central, UDA Property North, and UDA Property East. For today, UDA Property Johor is one of the top property developers in Johor that built townships, public housing, recreational facilities, terraces, bungalows, semi-D houses, commercial centres, condos and apartments. Thus, we'll talk about their latest developments, that is the Personiaville Superlink homes and Nuevo Centro shop offices located at the award-winning development Bandar UDA Utama, Johor Bahru. But before that, we've invited Prem Padmanathan, General Manager of Customer Data Solutions from iProperty, to share property pricing trends in Johor Bahru, where the projects are located. Prem believes that everyone should have access to reliable, accurate and up-to-date transacted sub-sale property prices at their fingertips before making the biggest purchase of their lives. His team of data analysts specialize in compiling property transacted prices in Malaysia from the Valuation and Property Services Department, JPPH, under the Ministry of Finance. These property pricing trends can be conveniently found when you view a property listing on iProperty site. So let's hear from the man now, Prem. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Freda, and a good day to everyone. Today, I'll be sharing some data about Johor, specifically on terrace houses and shop lots, and we're going to talk about the trends, the pricing, and the sizes itself. And this is based on transacted data. And when I say transacted data, it is sub-sale transacted data, yeah? And this is based on H2 last year. So let's start with terrace houses first. Yeah? So terrace houses in Johor, the first screen I'm going to show you is a screenshot from bricks.my, which represents all the sub-sale transactions in Malaysia. And I've zoomed in to Johor, mainly in the Iskandar region area. And you can see from the bubbles in here, right, you can see the sizes or the market share of transactions of terrace houses in this area itself. And you can see places like Skudai has got the biggest market share, followed by Kulai, while Pasir Gudang and Tebrau and Iskandar Putri also has got strong market shares. While JB itself, it's 100 over transactions of terrace houses, but it's not as big as places like Kudai. Now let's break it down even further. Before I go into that, today's project, when speaking specifically about UDA's project of terrace houses, is situated the west of Johor Bahru, which is bordering Skudai and Iskandar Putri itself. Now let's go into the details of transactions by area itself. Now this graph talks about market share of transactions of terrace houses, which I showed you earlier. Now in the last 1 year, as of July last year, there were 6,300 terrace houses purchased in Johor. And the market share from here, you can see the number one is Skudai with nearly 737 sold, which is nearly about 11% of terrace houses itself. While you can see places like Kulai and Pasir Gudang and Iskandar Putri and Tebrau, kind of finishes up the top 5 areas itself. Johor, which represents, as we had about 395 transactions, represents about 6% of terrace houses transactions in Johor itself. Now that we understand where the people are buying in Johor, let's go into capital growth. So I'm sure the next question which most of you all have is, how's the pricings in Johor? Is it appreciation? Is it declining? Or is it just being stagnant? So let's look at the capital growth. The capital growth is, it's compared to the previous period. So this is based on last year July, and compared to the 1 year period before that, terrace houses in Johor grew by 4%. So this is kind of amazing in the sense that last year was where the pandemic started, but yet we had a kind of a capital growth. Now terrace houses do kind of gain a stronger growth compared to high rises. So 4% I would say was a drop compared to previous years where Johor used to experience an overall 7 to 8% capital growth for terrace houses. However, when you break it down by areas, you will see there are different areas which have got different capital growth, where some places like Segam actually enjoyed much larger capital growth, even Gelang Patah itself, where they both enjoyed a double-digit growth itself. Now, Johor Bahru itself, they had a nearly 8% capital growth. So I would say, in the sense of last year, as of July, prices are still on the rise when it comes to terrace houses in Johor itself. Now, the next slide, we're going to talk about pricing, a very important slide when it comes to purchase decisions. Right? So if you look at pricing, so this is the median terrace house, median per square feet pricing in Johor. So from here, you can see the black line here, that represents the median pricing of 329 ringgit per square feet for a terrace house in Johor. And you can see from the chart itself, there's no surprise here where Johor Bahru is the most expensive when it comes to per square feet at about 419 ringgit per square feet, followed by Iskandar Puteri and Gelang Patah. Now, if you look at this line, you can see every area which is above the line basically means it's above the market price of 329 ringgit. Whereas you can see places like Kulai and Pengerang kind of like at the border. That means they are really at the market price of overall Johor, while every area from Jeram Batu onwards is priced below the median price of the state itself. You've got places like Segamat, which can go as low as 185 ringgit per square feet. So now that we know roughly where people are buying and the capital growth and also the pricing, let's now zoom into Johor Bahru itself, in Johor Bahru district itself, and you can see some of these areas which I'm going to show you here. So we'll start off on the outskirts of Johor Bahru, where you can see places like Senai and Pasir Gudang. They are range. They're one of the lowest priced, about 290 to 300 ringgit per square feet. As you move closer to the city, the prices will start to increase, where you can see places like Gelang Patah is already at nearly 400 ringgit, while Skudai and Kebrau, they are at about 380 ringgit per square feet. And then, of course, when we zoom into the city centre itself, you'll see Johor Bahru at 419 ringgit, while Iskandar Puteri, very strong branding, very affluent area, is also garnering the same pricing as Johor Bahru at about 417 ringgit per square feet. So now that we have a rough idea about where the pricing are in Johor Bahru itself, now let's zoom into where UDA's project is. So I've zoomed into where this project is, and the project is called Pisonia Vale. So you can see from here, Pisonia, it's about 1,800 square feet, and that's about and it's going for about 690 ringgit, which gives you about 368 ringgit per square feet. Now I took a few projects around Pisonia area itself, so you can see I try to get as much projects which are similar size. So places like Taman UDA Utama, Taman Nusa Bestari and Taman Bukit Indah, they're all kind of like ranging at about 1,800 square feet. So you can see places like Taman Bukit Indah, a very popular area among purchasers. It's going about 361 ringgit per square feet, while Taman Nusa Bestari is going about 387 ringgit per square feet, slightly more expensive than Pisonia itself, while Taman UDA Utama is priced a bit lower at about 350 ringgit per square feet. Now, generally for this size, I would say 690 ringgit is the kind of going price if you look at where the current projects are. And bear in mind, these current projects are sub-sale projects, while Pisonia is a new project, and new projects come with its own benefits itself. Now, I just put Taman Tan Sri Yaakob next to this is because it is priced very high in cents per square feet, but the reason for this is because it's a much smaller unit, and so it's about 330,000 ringgit, but you're going to get a 837 square feet unit only, which if you look at in the sense of price per square feet, it's nearly 440 ringgit per square feet. So that's basically for terrace houses. So hopefully with this, you have some rough idea on the pricing and of course this project itself. So I would say to say that 690,000 ringgit is kind of like the market price. In fact, they're probably a bit lower when it comes to per square feet because of the size when it comes to existing sub-sale projects around this area. Now that we have a rough idea on terrace houses, let's move on to the next project, the next type, which is shop lots. So we're going to start off again with market share of transactions. So this is the market share of transactions of shop lots in Johor. Not as many as terrace houses, of course. So from here, you can see there's about 800 transactions of shop lots in the last 12 months as of July 2020. Now here, when you look at the breakdown by areas, you will see Skudai is leading the areas itself, at about 13% transactions, which is about 100 over shop lots being transacted in that period, followed by Johor Bahru at about 11%. So if you look at this, right, these two areas alone represents nearly 25% of commercial shop lot transactions in Johor itself. So they're pretty big when it comes to market share of shop lots. Now that we understand where people are buying, let's go to see whether the prices are appreciating or declining. So in the sense of price appreciation, in the last 1 year, as of July 2020, compared to the previous period, the last 1 year before, the shop lots had a bit of modest capital growth at about 1.7% growth. It's not as high as terrace houses, but again, given the circumstances of the pandemic and all that, this is something which we should be happy with, as there is at least growth when it comes to overall state level for shop lots. But if you break it down by areas, you will see places like Senai actually had a whopping 42% capital growth. And while you've got places like Ampoi and all that, or Masai, you can see they're all kind of declined and had a negative capital appreciation. So from here, you can see, there are certain areas which kind of have a different impact to raise, and you need to do your analysis to find out why places are actually, prices are declining or why is it increasing. Now, when it comes to Johor Bahru itself, Johor Bahru did pretty good, in this period, and got 14% capital growth, which is pretty good in the sense of, again, due to this pandemic and all that. But of course, it makes sense, like places like Johor Bahru, they're a commercial hub, so places like shop lots, commercially will do well, especially in places which are the financial hub and the commercial hub itself. Now that we see that, prices are, continue to appreciate in Johor, let's go into pricing itself of shop lots. So when you look at pricing of shop lots for the state level, for the Johor median pricing for shop lots is at about 214 ringgit per square feet. Now, if you again, you see that little dotted black line, and anything, all the charts which are above that line indicates that the median per square feet for a shop lot is higher than the state median pricing, while everything below is priced lower. So here again, very similar to terrace houses, you will see, Johor Bahru leading the pack when it comes to pricing. It's most highest at about 390 ringgit per square feet. While you get, places, like Tangka and Segamat and Kluang, which can go as low as 148 ringgit. So, just remember that the median is about 214, the high point is 290. The low point in Johor is about 148 ringgit per square feet. So now that we understand where people are buying, how the prices are appreciating, and also what are the prices per square feet for shop lots, let's zoom into the locations itself via the map. So I'll start off with the outskirts itself. So you can see from the outskirts, places like Senai, it's even though they are part of the Iskandar region, but they're priced quite reasonable at about 180 ringgit per square feet. Also gives you an indication of their good capital growth, because they are still at the upward trend of prices. So Senai is enjoying a bit more capital growth, chasing up to places like Skudai, which is about 280 ringgit per square feet. While it's coming closer to Johor, places like Teperau, you see it start to increase and already touched the 300 ringgit per square feet. And as you leave the city centre towards the east, you'll see the prices will start to drop again, with Masai at about 190 ringgit, very similar to Senai. While Pasir Gudang, while being a bit further away from Johor Bahru, being an industrial hub, I believe they will, commercially they are still very strong. So they kind of have a stronger price per square feet, quite close to Tampoi actually at about 221 ringgit. So this is generally where they are all around. And of course, when you move into the city centre itself, you can see then prices hit the peak at about 390 ringgit per square feet, while Iskandar Puteri, while being away from city centre, being an affluent area and upcoming emerging area, they are second highest when it comes to pricing per square feet at 364 ringgit. Okay, now let's move into, zoom in more closer into where the project is today, which is the project from UDA, which is called the Nuevo Centro 3. So Nuevo Centro 3 is, its starting size is about 3,000 square feet. So I'm going to use the 3,000 square feet as the benchmark of comparison with other shop lots in this area. So the Nuevo Centro, it's starting from about 960,000 ringgit, which gives it about 350 ringgit per square feet. Now, if you look at comparing around it, like Taman UDA Utama, which is north of Novo Central, a similar size, 3,000. Priced a bit, they are lower at about 270 ringgit per square feet, starting at about 820,000 ringgit. So do remember that these are sub-sale projects, while Novo Central is a brand new project. And then, to the right, to the left, you'll see Taman Tan Sri Yaakob, at about 279 ringgit per square feet. Again, about 850,000 ringgit for a 3,000 square feet unit. If you're going down south of Novo Central, you'll get Taman Nusa Bestari. Again, you have 3,000 square feet available. Now, Taman Nusa Bestari, the pricing, it's much higher than what is being offered by UDA, at about 450 ringgit, 57 ringgit per square feet, which is going to give you about 1.5 million ringgit for a shop lot in Taman Nusa Bestari. So it's priced a lot higher than Novo, yeah. While across the second link, Taman Bukit Indah, 3,000 square feet is touching about nearly 400 ringgit per square feet. So that gives you about 1.2 million ringgit for a shop lot in Taman Bukit Indah. So looking at this comparison, you can clearly see that, I think when it comes to pricing wise, I think Novo Central is kind of priced correctly in this area comparatively. If you're looking at what's available out there today, you're going to get yourself, for a shop lot for 1 million at 3,000 square feet in an affluent area like Bandar UDA Utama. I think that's something which is considered fair in this sense. So I hope that, my sharing with this data, when it comes to where people are buying, the capital appreciation and the price comparison will help you make your decision when you're looking into buying in these areas itself. And thank you very much. Back to you, Freda.
Thank you, Prem, for that great sharing as always. I believe every one of you have gotten many useful property pricing information in Johor Bahru from Prem. Stay tuned as we'll interview Prem and Encik Surveyor Mohammad Salem Kalani, President and CEO of UDA Holdings Berhad, later to answer burning questions about their latest property collection, Personiaville Superlink Homes and Nuevo Centro shop offices at Bandar UDA Utama, Johor Bahru. Potential buyers would like to know. Before that though, let's run another round of trivia questions for you to win some prizes. Are you ready? And again, here's how to win the prizes. First question, how many of buyers purchased a terrace house in Johor Bahru? Is it 1, 10%, 2, 30%, 3, 50%, or 4, 60%? If you paid attention, you'll know the answer. Second question, what is the median price of terrace houses in Johor Bahru? Is it 1, 360,000, 2, 450,000, 3, 670,000, or 4, 250,000? Get the answers in quickly. The third question, what was the capital growth for commercial shop offices in Johor Bahru? Is it 1, 5%, 2, 10%, 3, 8%, or 4, 14%? Now, you've heard from our GM Data Services, Mr. Prem Padmanathan's pricing trends analysis on Johor Bahru earlier. Now it's time to ask the developers some burning questions about properties in Bandar UDA Utama. In tonight's episode, we collaborated with UDA Land South, subsidiary of UDA Holdings Berhad, to ask some questions buyers might have of their latest properties, Personiaville Superlink Homes and Nuevo Central shop offices at Bandar UDA Utama, Johor Bahru. I have with me Surveyor Mohammad Salem Kalani, President and CEO of UDA Holdings Berhad, and of course with us again, Prem Padmanathan, General Manager of Customer Data Solutions from iProperty, a property pricing data specialist, to share some pricing insights on these projects. So a little bit about Bandar UDA. Bandar UDA Utama is a freehold development, 470 acres township divided into two zones, Zone A and Zone B. It's strategic and prominently located within Iskandar Development Region, Mukim Pulai, Johor Bahru. It's adjacent to Tol Perling JB, a second link highway to Singapore. The whole township has a total of nearly 4,000 units of mixed properties, inclusive of commercial, shop lots, offices, bungalows, semi-D homes, superlink homes, condos and apartments. We've got it all. So first question, tell us a little about who is UDA Property Johor, what kind of property developer are you and what's your vision?
Thanks Frida, a very nice introduction of UDA. Basically UDA is established on 12 November 1971. The name UDA stands for Urban Development Authority. We are in fact a government company. And it was established by the government. And in terms of where we are in Johor, Bandar UDA Utama is a project that UDA has been working on it since year 2021.
Right.
So this year is the 20th anniversary of Bandar UDA Utama, and it also coincides with our 50th anniversary of UDA.
Right.
So there's a bit of introduction on UDA vis-a-vis UDA in Johor.
Right, so 50 years of UDA, 20 years of this township itself,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You also have other projects there as well.
Of course, we have been in Johor for quite some time. Our first project is Bandar Baru UDA. Apart from that, we also have Pusat Bandar Tampoy, Skudai Kanan, and Taman Sedili. Right. And not forgetting the one that we are talking about today, which is Bandar UDA Utama.
All right, so tell us a little bit about your latest venture, because from KL, right? We're still not too sure about JB. Exactly where is this, and how far are we from JB City Centre and the second link to Singapore?
So basically, Bandar UDA Utama is sited in a position which is very strategic. Its location is about 15 kilometers from JB downtown,
right,
and about 30 kilometers from Iskandar, the center of administrative for Johor. But if you take it slightly further, which is to the toll plaza going to Singapore,
right,
this is only about 37 kilometers away.
Right.
So in terms of its proximity to a lot of these places, and vis-a-vis the infrastructure that serve Bandar UDA Utama, it is in fact next to Perling Toll Plaza on the Malaysia-Singapore highway, and it's also, I would say, what's important here is the location. The location is really central, easy, and in an established neighborhood.
Right, location, right? As they always say. And of course, Tol Perling is 1.5 kilometers from this township as well, right? So is this a mature township? I mean, you said it's about 20 years, right? So how's the surrounding population catchment like? How livable is Bandar UDA Utama?
Within the context of Bandar UDA Utama, there's immediate population of about 30,000. So it is in fact a very mature township. It's easily accessible. It has a lot of services within the surrounding neighborhood. Things like, for example, schools we have within Bandar UDA Utama itself, and within the nearby neighborhood, you have the likes of, for example, Ion Mall. And if you talk about other services, these are all available here as well.
Right.
And that's a bit of the location.
Right.
In terms that we always say it's location lah.
Location lah. So you're near hypermarkets, banks, clubs, malls, schools. Okay. So what do you think of Prem, Johor Bahru, and the location of Bandar UDA Utama as an area? And again, Prem, I know what the data says, not what Prem says.
Not my personal opinion, right? What the data says and all that. So every time I speak about Johor, right? I mean, in any events and all that, it's one thing I always tell people: Johor has one thing which no other state has: Singapore. Right? There's no other state. So whenever we talk about factors of Johor and why is Johor this way and all that, you must always remember that they have a neighbor which no one else has. So that's what I put that in perspective. So in the sense of Bandar UDA Utama, right? When I looked at the map and all that, it's kind of nestled, it's south of Skudai, very close to also Johor, about 15 kilometers from Johor Bahru itself. When you combine these two areas like Skudai and Johor Bahru, they represent about 20% of residential transactions in the whole of Johor. So Johor is huge, right? So they represent about 20% of it. So there's quite two big areas. Skudai is of course very big when it comes to transactions itself. And when I look at it in the sense of capital appreciation, so last year, so our data is just based up to July 2020, and I would like to remind everyone, I presented earlier just before this session, and I did mention that this is based on sub-sale transaction. So we must put that in context because the project we're talking about is primary market, but sub-sale data is pretty strong in the sense that we can use that as a benchmark itself. So for capital appreciation, right, in the sense of for Johor Bahru area itself, last year was about nearly 3%. Now, people might think that that's not a lot, but they have to remember last year was a different year for everybody, So a lot of areas like states like KL and Selangor and all that showed some decline. And Johor traditionally, their capital growth comparatively to other states are much higher year on year previously, So for them to experience 3% is actually not okay, in the sense of they used to get 8%. If I calculated the compounded annual growth for the last 6 years, for Johor it was 8.7%. So, but last year and all that, we did face some pandemics, which we never really faced before. And Johor, this is JB. Johor overall is about 4%. So that's where Johor is today. But if you have seen the portal demand analytics we presented a few months back, you'll see most states are negative. So it's still good in that sense. And when it comes to types, right, Johorians love terrace houses. Terrace houses represent about 70% of purchases in Johor, and in JB it's 50%. So they just love their land, and parking the car at the porch itself. And commercial also is very strong, in the sense of Skudai and Johor represents nearly 30% of commercial properties in Johor itself. When it comes to price factors, I will be explaining a bit more on price, but just to give you an update on the sense of when it comes to terrace houses, there was a slight growth, about 2.7%. Unfortunately, the high rises saw the opposite reaction, So service residences had a big decline, about 6%. And we know about the oversupply of Johor, but we have to be very clear. It's on the mainly on service residences. So if you notice, terrace houses are still enjoying the capital growth, and so on and so forth. So that's where I think Johor is today.
Right. So speaking of how people like their land, let's focus on your award-winning terrace development, Pisoniaville. Where is it located?
So I'm going to park that question for a while. I'm going to touch on what Prem has just mentioned, which is really about, if you go down to the fundamental of price increase versus decrease, one of the big factor is location. So this is where Bandar UDA Utama comes in strongly, because our location is very much centralized and easily accessible to a lot of those places. And a lot of services are within the context of maybe 5-10 kilometers kind of range. And it's basically about 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes away. So I suppose that gives us kind of an advantage, and for the buyers to come in and basically look at properties within Bandar UDA Utama. So what I'm going to say now is the question that you have just asked, which is about Pisoniaville. So Pisoniaville is in fact our project, which is a super link. This is a 25 by 75 land plot, and the build-up area is 2,550 square feet. It offers 5 and 6 bedrooms, and this is in fact, I would say, a luxury in the context of JB market. And what's even more, our ceiling height is 12 feet instead of normally it's about 11. So this extra 1 feet may not be much, but in terms of space, that allows it to have better ventilation and give you a better indoor ambience. I suppose those are the extra that we are saying about Pisoniaville.
So the 5 or 6 bedrooms, so that's quite major as well, right? And I guess it's now open for booking and all that?
Yes, it is. In fact, Pisonia, this is the second package that we are offering. The first package is already sold out. So, and it's delivered. So package 2 is now open. Is now open for sale, and we expect to launch it officially in September 2020.
So in a couple of months,
Yeah.
for the launching. So Prem, do you think Pisoniaville is a good buy, and why?
Yeah, so I've got some data here. I've presented earlier, and I always start at the state level and then go down to the area level and all that. So when it comes to terrace houses, right, based on the data, the transacted data for sub-sale again, right, Johor, the median price is about, first of all, let me just say it was quite a challenge to kind of get a benchmark because the size is not easily, it's not available in those sizes.
I don't think I've heard of
so
properties that way.
just to give you all kind of like a context where Johor is, right, the median price is about 360,000 ringgit, right, and the PSF is about 330 ringgit. When you do a simple divide, right, the average size is about 1,100 square feet in Johor. When I zoomed into Johor Bahru, the median price went up a bit more, of course, for 450,000 ringgit at the per square feet of 420. Again, you're getting about 1,100 square feet in it. So when I had to do the analysis for Pisoniaville, it was not easy because I'm starting off at even the smallest unit. I think it's about just below 2,000 unit, right? 2,000 square feet. Right? So when we did the analysis of the tamans around that area, right? So we got like Taman Nusa Bestari, Taman Bukit Indah. I went down a bit, just slightly on the other side of the bottom of the highway, south of the highway. Taman UDA Utama, and Taman Tan Sri Yaakob. Right, all these guys. So the biggest was 1,800. That's what I could actually find. And I could see that Taman Nusa Bestari today at 650,000 ringgit, you get 1,700 square feet. So you're going to get a per square feet of 387. Same thing with Taman Bukit Indah. Same price, 650,000 ringgit. 360 square feet because you're going to get 1,800 square feet. So Pisonia, even at the smallest unit, at 1,900 square feet, right, at 691,000 ringgit, your square feet is 368. So I would say in the sense of pricing, especially for a new property, it's very competitive because the sub-sale the older properties are selling at about 390 ringgit currently around that area. So I would say, yeah, they are competitively priced. In the sense of when it comes to capital growth itself, right, as I mentioned, like when it comes to terrace houses specifically, right, in Johor Bahru, they have been enjoying a capital compounded annual growth of about 8%. So that's where Johor is with terrace houses.
Right. So Tuan Salim, looks like this is really value for money, right? Who are the intended buyers?
Not me saying. The data is saying.
No, Prem didn't say it. The data said.
The data said.
Right. Who are the intended buyers of this place?
Looking at the pricing that we are going to put in, I suppose it would attract individual as well as family with income level of about 7,000 and above. And we saw in this particular market or this particular salary level, a lot of them would be government servant, even Malaysian working in Singapore, and of course business owners and upgraders, because we do have our own customers that now has, in a way, their business have grown and they were looking at new properties. This is where UDA comes in and offering such a valuable product called Pisoniaville. And I suppose with the kind of extras that we talk about, bigger build-up, bigger lot size, reputable developer, and coupled with the fact that Johor as a market has a cumulative annual growth rate of about 8%. If we discount last year's pandemic year of 3%, basically you're looking at CAGR of about 8%. That is a good investment.
Right. Okay.
So I suppose these are all the features that will eventually attract this group.
Okay. So so what makes it Pisoniaville linked home the most preferred terraces and why?
I suppose there's not much terrace houses available, and this being limited means you should go for it or you will not get it any. So of course, like I said, it's about preference. Having a landed property versus condominium or apartments, it touches on different segments. I suppose it's like the enjoyment of just having your car in your car porch. Those are the things that I suppose will be an attraction. And to make it even better for those who would like to purchase, then we also have some packages available, which is basically what you are seeing will be, let's talk about the car wash. What UDA is giving is fully tiled car wash from your front until all the way to the wall. So basically, all this tile, so you don't have to do any upgrade. So apart from that, we also have resident security facility where built-in CCTV is installed. So I suppose these are some of those things, coupled with the one which I mentioned earlier, 12 feet, floor to ceiling height. All this will be an attraction for people to buy into Bistro Meal
It does make a difference to the way the whole place looks, right, with that space and all that. Now, if I'm interested to purchase a unit, if I want to move to Johor, what are the special offers?
Okay. This year is our 50th anniversary for UDA. So we have, in fact, announced our 50 golden offers. Apart from buying a house, you are also entitled to participate in the golden offers, where among the prizes that we're going to give is one Proton X50 cars. And we also have 5 gold bars. And we have a couple of other prizes, including motorcycle. And these are, in fact, those who buy UDA property in this year, they are eligible to participate.
So
and those are really good offers that UDA is giving.
So I get it, it's the 50th anniversary, hence the X50, right? You know, and other sales incentives, you know, in terms of legal fees and all these other things as well, right?
So all those are given. Things like, for example, free legal fees, MOT, and disbursement for SPA. That will be borne by the developer, which is UDA.
Now I'm going to move on to another one, apart from the super linked homes, right? You've also built shop offices in Bandar UDA Utama. So tell me more about the shop houses.
What we are giving is basically 2-story shop office, and there's also the corner units are the 3-story type. And basically this particular unit is called Nuevo Centro. And in fact, the phase 1 and phase 2, it is already there. This is the package 3 that we are offering. We also have limited unit within phase 2. The first one is already sold out. So Nuevo Centro, 3 packages available, limited unit within package 2, and the one which we are going to launch is the package 3.
So this is 2 to 3 story shop units, right? Depending on which part, and what does it look like, in terms of that space?
First, the location. Location. This is located along Persiaran Perdana, which is the main artery road within Bandar UDA Utama. And what you see is basically, again, normally you will see cement render for shop office, but in the case of UDA's product, these are all fully tiled. So those are in fact extra. And apart from that, we also give a lot of natural ventilation. The facade lighting are all given. So all these are in fact to make sure that whoever buys into this, it will be easy for them to come in and start their business.
And I guess with all that around that, since these are business owners, the people need to park around there. There's also ample parking in that space as well, right? So Prem, you've also shared about shop offices pricing trends in Johor Bahru earlier. So this is the Nuevo Centro 3 shop office in Bandar Utama. What do you think of its price points, and is it competitive?
So if you'll remember the charts which I showed earlier, right? In Johor, the median pricing for shop offices in Johor is about 700,000 ringgit at a per square feet of 215 ringgit, which means you're getting about 3,000 square feet. And 3,000 is quite popular, in the sense of shop lots in Johor or anywhere else, In JB, then the price, of course, doubled. So the median pricing for Johor comes to about 1.2 million, or this is median, which is the per square feet also now has gone up to about 390 ringgit per square feet. And again, when you do a simple divide, you're going to get 3,000 square feet as well. So generally, a lot of people love these 3,000 square feet double story units and all that. Now, when it comes to Nuevo, starting at about 960,000, right, all the way up to 1.8 million. So you're going to get about 350 ringgit per square feet, which is lower than the median of JB. Remember, I mentioned 390. That's the median price, and you're going to start off at about 2,800 square feet to 3,000 square feet. So price point wise, I guess, they are at the right price point.
Right.
Today, anytime I look at the primary new product, and the new product median price is lower than the sub-sale product, it gives me a kind of a happy feeling on inside, because, talking about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the pitch is always, oh, don't worry, in 5 years' time, it will go up. It will go up, so you're buying at a high, but so when you're looking at a property which is already priced below where people are buying secondary older units, that should give you a bit more confidence, And again, I looked at around the area, Taman Nusa, Bestari, Taman Bukit Indah, Taman Sri Yaakob and UDA Utama, right? So here is, for example, Nusa Bestari, the median price is going about 450 ringgit. That's about 1.5 million for 3,000 square feet, while Bukit Indah is about 400 ringgit per square feet, again about 1.2 million ringgit. So I would say the price points, it's definitely lower than some of the current tamans there, and slightly higher than places like Taman Sri Yaakob, which is going about 840,000 ringgit. And I'm sure the reasons like what just mentioned, about fronting the highway and all that makes a huge difference as well.
Right. Okay, so Tuan Salim, are there many offices in the area? What kind of customers can the business operator anticipate if they buy a unit at Nuevo Centro 3?
Basically, the size is in fact enough to operate some of the so-called the standard businesses that you're talking about. Restaurant, laundry, saloon, mini market, tuition centers, and all these are in fact available. So even if you want to turn it into an F&B, so this should be a cafe. So that's easily done. And I would like to also touch on the fact that Nuevo Centro is a product that we have already starting with the construction. So what it means is, if you buy into this, you would be able to see your keys being delivered around about Q1 2022. So what it means is, you don't have to wait that long to start your business. And to also give you further encouragement is, the units that we have already handed over, all these are in fact occupied by business operators. So that in fact is a testament that this product is good.
Right, and an indication of what you can expect, right? Prem, coming back to a more generic question here, who exactly are the buyers of commercial properties in JB specifically?
So I think when it comes to commercial properties, right, there are two types: the business owners and their investors. And one of the questions which a lot of people ask when it comes to buying a shop office, is there enough catchment in that area to take care of it? So I did something which I normally do, which I can't travel to JB, right? So the closest thing I can do is Google Street View, and I think like what Salim mentioned just now, I had to check whether the signboard for sale, for rent, some places you go, every shop is for sale, for rent. That's a bit of it gives you a bit of a fear to the investor, because current lots have already got so much of this signboards out there for sale. Why am I buying another one? So true enough, and I mentioned, as I use the Street View to go, I can see every shop is occupied. There are people using in there, and I think partly because the catchment of residential area, it has to have a balance in that area. So when it comes to buying, as a business owner, people always say as a business owner to have a property, a net asset, which you can use it for in the future for overdraft, for refinancing when you need to roll money and all that. But of course, you need upfront. So upfront, for in the sense of properties, like 1 million ringgit and all that, with all the down payments and legal fees. If it's sub-sale, of course, you've got legal fees and all that. It might come up to 280,000 ringgit to 300,000, because you might have to put 20% for a commercial unit and all that. So this is when people who wants to start a cafe but doesn't have a capital, they will want to rent. So investors who have bought these units would expect people with low capital entry points to rent. And this is where I think the difference is, in the sense of the sizing is perfect for restaurants and all that. So you're looking at two types: people who are starting business, renting out, and people who are looking at long-term capital growth. And if I mentioned about capital growth itself, right? So for commercial properties, right? For Johor overall capital. So this is based on transacted data in 2020 for Johor. It was 1.3%. Pretty low for Johor, overall Johor, I'm talking about right and up to the bottom. When I checked Johor Bahru,
Okay.
14%.
Wow.
Capital growth 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not easy to get.
Despite the pandemic year.
Right.
Despite the pandemic, yes, you're right. So it's not easy to get double digit. Right?
Yes.
Johor, okay, to be honest, when I've been talking about Johor for the past 5-6 years, right, Johor has always been the leader when it comes to capital growth.
Right.
And I think we all know why.
Right.
Neighbor.
Right, okay.
Very strong
Right.
neighbor, very
Okay.
strong neighbor, you know. But recently, it has actually shown a two-digit capital growth. I'm actually pretty impressed. So for investors who are buying it for net asset, I want to run a business, but I also want to have an asset, or I want to buy a business where I'm going to get good capital yield, rental yield, and at the same time, is my asset going to appreciate?
Yep.
Right? Looking at this data, the last 1 year, it has been quite a high growth.
Right.
Compounded in the last 6 years, it's about 9%.
Okay.
It's about 9%. But the last 1 year, surprisingly, it has shown a big growth.
Right, and there's a difference between Johor and Johor Bahru.
Yes,
Right?
correct. This is Johor Bahru.
Right.
This is Johor Bahru.
And of course, that $1 million question, literally, right? Tuan Salim, if I'm a business owner, right, what's the expected rental of a commercial shop lot in that area?
Okay, basically for Nuevo Centro, we are in fact allowing for a rent-to-own scheme.
Okay.
And if you talk about rent-to-own scheme, you will have for first floor, the ground floor, at 3,800 per month.
Okay.
And for the first floor is 2,800, and for the second floor is 1,800.
Right.
That is if you consider ground first and second.
Right.
If you define it like the American do, which is
First,
first floor,
second.
second and third, then you have to adjust accordingly. But the price is still the same.
The price is the
so
same.
what's important is, from some of my observation as well, I noticed that whilst the Singaporean are not coming to Johor Bahru, but a lot of the goods are still going out.
Yes.
So you have a lot of these business owners, which now supplying a lot of this, even foods, grocery stuff, to Singapore. So what I can see is they still have a lot of orders coming through, and in fact this is in fact the right time for you to maybe expand your business, have a better facilities. In time when the pandemic is already behind us, I suppose you will have a good place to start your business. And given the rental amount, this is in fact something which is, I would say, very attractive.
Okay. So to make it more attractive, is there a special promotion?
Yes. Because basically, Nuevo Package 3 is also part of the 50 golden offers that UDA is giving.
Right.
So you can participate to win your Proton X50. And beyond that is we also give a very low deposit of 3,000 only for the purchase. And we have free legal fees for MOT and disbursement fees. All this will be covered by the developer.
Right.
And we also have our easy ownership plan and flexi payment. So all these are available for those who would like to buy Nuevo Centro 3.
Okay, so exciting times ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And thank you that we have Prem here from iProperty, and also Surveyor Muhammad Salim Kailani, President and CEO of UDA Holdings Berhad. I'm sure this session has given a lot of insights to buyers who plan to invest in Johor Bahru. Stay tuned as we'll be giving away prizes to those of you who has paid attention.
Hi everyone, this is Huizi. Are you looking for 2 and 3 story, freehold modern design, short offices with an extra features of a maximum frontage exposure supplemented with amber car parking? Nuevo Centro 3 is located fronting of the main road of Jalan Persiaran Perdana within Iskandar Development Region. Excellent accessibility to second lane to Singapore, Kota Iskandar, North-South Highway and to many Johor Bahru Highway Road. Nuevo Centro 3 is said to be a convenient hub for business opportunities. Convenient and precise location for business owners that wanting to tap into the ready high population catchment area, close to 200,000 within radius, which includes Taman Perling, Taman Nusa Bestari, Taman Tan Sri Yaakob and Taman Sutra Utama. These 2 and 3 story short offices is fully town business area and column-free design and walkway. Nouveau Central 3 is surrounded by mature township with ready amenities such as malls, banks, recreational destinations, schools. As I understand, this buyer, he straight away purchased 2 units here. Mr. Shahid, can you tell me what's the reason you straight away purchased 2 of the units here?
I'm looking for 2 and 3 stories freehold shop, so I think this is the best place for my business.
Hi, Miss Mia. Hi. Can you tell me what's the main reason you purchased Nouveau Central 3 shop office?
Because my business needs accessibility. Accessibility is the main reason for me. Therefore, Nouveau Central 3 fit with me.
Hi, Miss Nabila.
Yeah, hi.
How's your business?
It's really good.
Can you tell me why you purchased Nouveau Central 3 shop office?
As you can see, my shop is facing the main road, so it's visibly seen. It's really good for my business market.
Hello, Mr. Fred.
Hello.
Congratulations, this is the third branch of your cafe.
Thank you.
Can you tell me why you choose UDA Property?
Actually, UDA Property Johor offer an awesome business plan for me, so that I can save more while I'm expanding my business here.
For more information, please visit our sales gallery and follow our Facebook page.
That was a wonderful sharing session. I'm sure all of us have benefited from their sharing just now. So now comes the time everyone's been waiting for, the trivia game, and here's how to win the prizes. First question, what is the lot size for Personiaville Superlink homes developed by UDA Property Johor? Is it 1, 20 by 65? 2, 22 by 80, 3, 25 by 75, or 4, 24 by 70? The second question, Nouveau Central 3 has how many types of shop office? Is it 1 and 2 story shop offices? Or 2, 2 and 3 story shop offices? 3, 3 shop offices only? Or 4, 2 shop offices only? The third question, Bandar UDA Utama is developed by which developer? Is it 1, UDA Land South Sanjur Berhad, 2, UDA Holdings Berhad, 3, UDA Land Central, or 4, UDA Land North Sanjur Berhad? We've been talking about Johor Bahru, so you should know the answer. Thank you everyone for watching iProperty Data Talks today. Have a great night.